Kwedel we see the Nagu said, guess I said, well, das in your biggest symbol, I just want to let you guys know that we have to arm ourselves with education first and foremost. We need to know, we need to know what these, okay. Okay. No, first of all, I'm very happy that Chief Del Riley mentioned the BNA Act, the British North America Act. And, you know, that was also known as the Constitution Act, and that came into effect in 1867. That doesn't mean anything to anyone, but, you know, in 1867, guess who made up that act? You know, do you think that there was Olnus on that committee? Do you think that there was Olnus from Mi'kma'ki or from anywhere else on that committee? Hell no. No. You know, they made sure that Indians and lands reserved for Indians under the control were now under the control of the federal government. So when this happened, that's the first time we, as a nation, lost our rights and lands, you know? And then the Indian Act came into place after that, and I don't know when it was. When was the Indian Act? A year after that, I think, 1876, okay? So all the laws dealing with us were gathered together and put into the Indian Act. Again, no Olnus were on those papers, you know? So the Indian Act completely changed our lives at that time and is still affecting us today. As long as our cultures were strong, it was difficult for the government, you know, to take our lands. So they used the Indian Act against us to attack who we were as peoples. We lost hunting and fishing acts. We lost, you know, we were limited to our spiritual and traditional ceremonies, you know, and, you know, everything else like the Sundance, traditional entertainment such as even Waltest and using the Jigaman, you know, they took that away and it was against the law to even bring them out. Okay, so this didn't change in the federal courts until the 1950s. Guess what? My great-grandfather, my mother's grandfather was Grand Chief Gabriel Syllaboy. In 1927, he was charged with a pelt, having a pelt out of season. And he went to court. He fought in the court systems, which is he walked himself from Eskasoni to Sydney numerous times in the winter. And, you know, he fought in the courts only to be humiliated because he didn't know English language because he didn't know the English language. They humiliated him in the Supreme Court. He went right to the Supreme Court because he knew our rights. He dated reference back to the 1752 treaties, which he lost. It wasn't, he wasn't given a post. He died thinking that he let his people down. And then in just a couple years ago, they gave him a posthumous pardon in the court system, invited all his family, only ones that were left were the grandchildren. My mother was a part of that, and then he was given a pardon. Years too late, you know? There's so many, so I'm saying that we have to know, when I say education, know your rights and know what's, you know, right. And the government, you know, the government put themselves in place to, people think that the system is broken. It ain't broken. Whoever was meant to survive at that time has survived, you know? And did anybody do their research about the federal government, the Canadian government? The Canadian government was made up of old, rich,
white guys,
bored, powerful Atlassians, you know? You know, we weren't involved in any decision making. So that's why there wasn't women involved, or there wasn't old news, there wasn't Gundaqwitch, there wasn't any race involved. It was just all Aglacios, you know. So whoever was meant to survive has survived, you know. And then now they put so much other things in the way. You know, the 60s scoop. They put the, you know, Indian Act. They put the, you know, Indian residential schools. We have a survivor right here, sitting right beside me, Mattel. Yeah, they put so much in our way now to survive. And, yeah, the only way that we're going to fight this is, you know, stand together and arm ourselves with our rights and recognition, right? So... yeah, so what else was I going to say? Yeah, they had enfranchisement, loss of status, you know, if you married, you know, you lost your status. If, you know, you gain status that way. If you were a white woman, you married a old new man, you gain status, you know. That still hasn't been taken away, you know. Yeah. What shouldn't be?
Native man marries a white woman, she should not become.
Well, that's gender discrimination. Yeah, that's gender discrimination. Yeah.
And her brother used to call us paper Indians.
Yeah, that's not, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, yeah. You know, so, you know, we gotta get ourselves together. Remember centralization? You know, they try to break us up with centralization. 2 major reserves, that's crazy. You know, there's so much, and now it's like missing and murdered women, you know, and I'm so proud of Danny Paul. You know, he brought down that statue and that road and made history. I'm so proud of Chief Andrea Paul. She took down that mill. You know, I'm just going to share my favorite quote with you. And this is what my Uncle Albert, I've heard him say this many times. Uncle Albert Marshall and his son's here somewhere, Albert J. You know, so this is what we truly believe. And he's talking about us as Olnus. This is what reinforces our spirituality, that no one is greater than the next, and that we are part and parcel. We are equal, and that each one of us has a responsibility to balance our system. So that's very powerful. And, you know, yeah. So educate yourselves and arm yourselves with all this knowledge. And I do it all by myself, you know. I'm always researching, then I'm out teaching. So history,